It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Good morning. Welcome to Travel and Cruise Industry News on this, the third day of November. Coming to you from Freeport in the Bahamas. And folks, I'll tell you right up front, I'm having Wi-Fi issues. It's been real wonky. Comes in and out. So who knows if I'll be able to stay on the live or not. I have not been able to use the computer. So it's been a challenge, a real challenge. Anyway, as you can tell probably from this, I'm streaming from my phone, which is why it's in the horizontal, no, that's vertical position rather than horizontal, because StreamYard, for some reason, when I use my phone, will only let me go in this orientation. But anyway, all right, a couple of stories we're going to talk about this morning. Royal Caribbean drops all their pre-cruise or pandemic protocols. Disney drops all their testing. Hurricane Martin should probably weaken during the day today. Tropical Storm Lisa is running out of gas. We're going to talk about both of those quite a bit in detail. Valiant Lady cancels Costa Maya. Carnival takes delivery of the Celebration. And then they turn around and raise their food prices. And finally, this morning, Ovation of the Sea cancels a call in New Zealand. We're going to talk about all those and more here this morning, live from Freeport in the Bahamas. Today, guys, is National Sandwich Day. So you know what to do about that. Go out, go to the kitchen and fix yourself a sandwich. Or go out for lunch and have a sandwich. I don't care what kind it is. Peanut butter and jelly. Ham and cheese. No, doesn't matter. Have a sandwich today. If you're listening via the podcast, always welcome. I hope I'm able to load the podcast. So far, yesterday I was able to get the podcast up, but I was still, sitting there in West Palm Beach, and I had a good signal on land. My blog, which is accessadventure.net, or wherever you get your podcast from. Just search for Travel and Cruise Industry News, and up pops the Fat Travel Guy. Anytime that I post videos or clips from my travels or travels from some of the Chillie Cruises family, you can always access the video feed by just going to the description of the podcast, and there'll be a link. Just click on it. All right, I hope you guys managed to stay with me through that because it just kicked me offline totally, but it came back reasonably quickly. I can't really tell if they are serving their Margaritaville jerk prawns and lime prawns on board. Oh, are they serving jerk prawns? And I saw jerk prawns on one of the menus last night, but I did not order it. So, okay, so I'm still there. So I am back on the air. That's good. All right. That's what I say. It's wonky, folks. So if I do blank out, just hang in there. I'll be back as quick as I can. All right. We'll count that as the break this morning. So let's go on with today's news. Of course, we got to talk about weather. That's the lead story. There is a little yellow X out there. Just ignore that one. That's going to be nothing and fade away real quickly. The northern one is still a hurricane. Hurricane Martin forecast to become a large and powerful post-tropical cyclone over the North Atlantic sometime today. It was located, the last numbers I had, about 970 miles west of the Azores, which is about 650 miles southeast of Cape Race, Newfoundland. Maximum sustained winds were still at 85 miles an hour. Present movement was to the northeast at 39. Pressure is still down pretty low at 973, but it is seeming to inch up a little. This is the strangest path I've seen in a storm for a long time. It's going to turn to the north today with a rapid increase in forward speed expected during the day and taking Martin over the far North Atlantic. A reduction in forward speed and a turn to the east or southeast is forecast on Friday. And then it's going to turn due east and head over toward Great Britain. Martin should get larger and stronger during the day today as it transitions to a large, powerful post-tropical cyclone. After that time, the cyclone is forecast to gradually lose its strength through the weekend, but still remain very large. So this sucker has gotten huge. Lisa, on the other hand, has been behaving rather nicely. Yes, it was a hurricane. Yes, it hit Central America. Yes, it did some damage, but the amount of time it's spent on land has just knocked the teeth right out of it. And even though it's going to get to the Bay of Campeche probably tomorrow over really warm waters, I don't think it's going to have any strength left to re-strengthen. Lisa continues to weaken as it moves further inland. It's about 125 miles west of Belize City, 125 miles east-southeast, Ciudad del Carmen, Mexico. Winds have dropped to 45. It's moving west at 10 miles an hour. Central pressure is rising. It's up to 998 now. This general motion is expected to continue for the next day or so, bringing Lisa across northern Guatemala, southeastern Mexico. At that time, a turn toward the northwest and a decrease in forward speed are expected as Lisa moves over the Bay of Campeche. Additional weakening is forecast while the center remains over land, and Lisa is expected to weaken to a tropical depression later today, which means that it's not going to have the teeth to re-strengthen once it gets to that warm water. So that's a good sign. All right. Wrong picture. Let's try that picture. The Virgin Voyages Valiant Lady has planned port visit to Costa Maya due to the projected path of then Hurricane Lisa. The ship's visit to Roatan on Tuesday went on as planned, but yesterday it was supposed to be in Costa Maya and that was canceled. Instead, she went into Cozumel, which is located about 130 miles further north along Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula. Even though she was in Cozumel, it was rainy, and they had a pretty good rainy day, but it wasn't that bad. So at least she made it into Mexico someplace. Royal Caribbean International has announced the removal of pre-cruise testing for most cruises from the United States and Europe. Cruise line now accepts all guests regardless of vaccination status without needing to provide a negative pre-cruise test. The new protocols are effective immediately, but still include some exceptions, most notably for cruises visiting Colombia, Haiti, or Honduras. Cruises that call in or sail from Australia and transatlantic cruises also require guests to provide a negative test result. Roatan in the Honduras, Colombia, and most notably, Royal Caribbean's private island destination of Haiti, that's Labadee, Haiti. For sailings visiting these ports, guests aged 12 and up who are not fully vaccinated have 3 days to take a test before their cruise, regardless of the length. Shortly thereafter, the announcement from Royal Caribbean, Disney announced that they are also dropping their pre-cruise testing requirements for guests regardless of the vaccination status. This is not going to go into effect for Disney, however, until November the 14th. And that's on any cruises departing from the U.S. Carnival Cruise Line officially took deliver of the Carnival celebration yesterday from Meyer Turku. That ends 150 year, whatever that was, the Carnival was celebrating. That comes to an end now. But it's good that they've got this. The culmination, 50th anniversary celebrations. There we go. I knew I had that someplace in these notes. At the same time, Carnival announced yesterday the duration because of ongoing supply costs and waste, a concern for all. That's a concern for cruise lines. Specialty dining and adding new charges to entrees in the main dining room. These increases follow a variety of cost increases for onboard dining options earlier this year. An email sent to book guests, and yes, I did get one yesterday. New changes are effective on all sailings departing Well, looks like I'm back online now. Sorry about that, folks. There's, as you know, there's nothing I can do about it, or I would. That's simply the wonkiness of this signal going in and out like that. We were talking about Carnival when it knocked me out that last time. I did get the email yesterday. The new changes are effective on November the 7th, so it's not going to be effective for my cruise because we sail on the 5th, thank goodness. A new $5 charge will be added per entree in the main dining room for any entree past 2. So in other words, folks, if you order 3 lobster tails, you're going to have to pay $5. Now, that's the only thing I've ever ordered more than 2. Now, I have on occasions ordered 2 things. Not very often, but once in a while. And of course, I do order 2 shrimp cocktails many times. But anyway, new $5 charge if you go over 2 of the entrees. This means that guests will still be able to choose a first and even a second entree at no extra charge, but will incur a fee for the 3rd, 4th, or any others. That's officially from Carnival. Another main dining room change is the Royal Lobster Tail, traditionally offered during elegant evening dinner services during the cruise formal nights and sailings of 6 nights or longer. Now, instead of offering the lobster tail at the first formal night, typically the second night of the sailing, the lobster tail will
is really weird, folks. My phone went out, and I got the computer back. I don't know. This has been confusing. Anyway, I'm pretty sure that you're back with me. I hope. The other things in Carnival, the steakhouse was $42. It's now $48. Rudy's Sea Grill and Bonsai Teppanyaki will both increase prices, but the amounts have not been announced yet. And finally, the free ice cream is now done. Well, sort of. The cruise line will now only offer complimentary ice cream and frozen yogurt from 11 a.m. to midnight each day. They claim that people that were ordering ice cream for breakfast were wasting too much. Who would have known that? And finally, this morning, Ovation of the Seas, our buddy down in Australia, had to cancel out a scheduled visit to Lyttelton, 5 miles southeast of Christchurch in New Zealand. That was actually this morning due to exceptionally high winds that made navigation too hazardous for the ship. Port of call was canceled. The ship will offer 61 sailings in the season, although the ports are all different. Other itineraries offered by Ovation include South Pacific sailings, Tasmania explorations, and cruising to nowhere for quick, relaxing getaways. The ship will finish the Australia season in April 2023, departing on April 17th and going up to Alaska. After a repositioning cruise, she will do the season in Alaska and then come back to Australia in November of 2023. Well, that's actually it for the news portion this morning. Sorry again about the technical issues. I have no idea what of anything in this you've been able to see. Let's see if anybody is left in the chat room. I wouldn't be surprised if they said, oh, the heck with this. Mike's with us. Hi, Mike. Carol's here. Dennis, good to see you always, Dennis. Oh, yes, you were asking about the jerk. Yeah, I saw it on the menu, but I have not had it yet. I ate the steakhouse last night. I don't think I said that before. And the steakhouse was wonderful. I didn't do much from lunch yesterday once we got on because I was busy. I just got some lunch meat, some cheese, and snacked. Breakfast this morning, I went to the buffet. It was excellent. So far, the food has been really good. The ship's nice. There's obviously a wonderful vibe. There's good music everywhere. That part is really enjoyable. It's an older ship, but it's been really well fixed up. So that part of it is nice. The only struggle I've been having is with the Wi-Fi issue, and it is terribly inaccessible. So that's I mean, I can almost go, other than embarkation went smooth. Other than that, there have been, accessibility issues all over the place. None of the bathrooms are wheelchair accessible. The one that is marked as a handicapped accessible restroom does not have an automatic door. I did not attempt to go inside. I opted to go back to my room, if you can call it that. My room is about, the width of it on one wall and the width of a single bed on the other wall. And I've got less than 3 feet down the middle. That's the width of the room. And the bathroom is handicap accessible. That part's good. The door just is not an automatic door. I haven't seen any automatic doors on the, except the door going in and out of the buffet is a automatic door, but it doesn't have, it's not a hand pushed automatic door. It senses you coming and opens. But anyway, so far, other than accessibility issues, it's been all right. Of course, we're in Freeport now. I thought I'd have a better Wi-Fi signal once we got into port, but that's not been the case. So anyway, Dennis says they're delicious. Order them next time. Okay. Well, I'll see if they're on the menu tonight. I'm probably going to go to Finn's, which is the main dining room tonight, since I went to the steakhouse last night. Heading to Barcelona tomorrow to join Regal Princess. Awesome, Carol. Have a wonderful trip. You know the drill. Post stuff and I'll steal it and use it. Nikki's with us. Good morning, Nikki. Katie's here, popping in to say hello. Hi, Katie. By the way, MSC Fantasia is pronounced Fantasia. Fantasia. Okay. I definitely screwed that one up, didn't I? Fantasia. Yeah, I see. I think you Dennis. See, Dennis keeps me straight on these. I am trying to get used to May Revelia. That one I have trouble with. But we were talking about that at dinner last night. I met a nice lady sitting at the next table that was also solo, and we sat and chatted through dinner. And she's been on the May Revelia. So, hope I'm saying it right, Dennis, or closer to right. Nikki says that's cool. Carol, bon voyage. Rich is with us. Good morning, Rich. Nikki says hello to everybody. Dennis said I was frozen. Hope you're having a great cruise. Is Margaritaville similar to any other cruise line? No. It's pretty. I mean, yes, it is. I mean, it's a typical. It's an older ship. Of course, it's smaller, but it's well redone. So it has a modern feel inside, even though it's not. But it's still a smaller ship. It's just not very accessible, and that's an issue. I still have not found out if you can get to deck 12 and 14, because every elevator I've been on only goes to 11. And there's steps, of course, that go up. But those kind of things. A few little unmarked steps around that you have to be really careful on. But again, the embarkation, the parking process was great. I love their valet parking, and I love their handicap parking. It's literally, it's right there, where you check in. That was terrific. It went really smooth. That part of it was excellent. And the food's been good. So, yeah, is it like any other cruises? Sure. Now, one thing I did notice, this isn't by being an older ship, it doesn't have the stabilizers like the new bigger ships have. So you could actually feel the sway in the ship when there was, literally no wave action outside, but you could still feel the sway. So it's definitely different. This is like old school sailing from that standpoint. Signal not too good today. Yeah. Wi-Fi issue has been interesting. I did really well yesterday while I was still in port, even though I was on board the ship and on their system. But as soon as we got out to sea, it got real wonky. Dennis says Carnival would prefer guests to fill their tummies with low-cost pizza, tacos, and burgers. Yeah, that's probably true there. Dennis says, yeah, I'm back. Dennis is monitoring everything for me. Thank you, Dennis. And they're not even good lobster tails. No, they're not. They're cheap Caribbean lobsters, no claws like Maine lobster. I completely agree. But still, I'm going to eat them whenever I get a chance, because at least it's close to being lobster. Yeah. Ride or die. I'll wait for Chillie's return. Thanks, Dennis. Yeah, it just went and came back. Went and came back. I don't know. My phone never did come back on. So, Katie says hi to Nikki. Pro tip: bring pizza slices back to your stateroom in the evening so you have some munchies late at night or early in the morning. that wasn't a half bad idea, because I ended up turning in, as I usually do, relatively early last night, because I was up at 4, and I'm up at 4:01 to check on all my sources, but also because of my med schedule. So, yeah, my day starts at 4, unfortunately. Was there smoked salmon at the breakfast buffet? I did not see any salmon. I did see some bagels, though. And usually if they have bagels, there's going to be salmon someplace. I didn't go looking for salmon this morning. I just went with a traditional breakfast today, because the short line that I was in, that's what it had. Scrambled eggs and sausage, and the delicious patty sausage is much better than I've been on several of the cruises lately, but really good patty sausages. I had some country style potatoes, which were good. Of course, bacon. I had orange juice with that, but I didn't go looking. I'm trying not to eat a lot of bread. That's one of the few things that I'm really trying to cut back on. And I didn't go looking for smoked salmon today. So I can't really answer that one. Kenneth's with us up in Pennsylvania. Hi, Kenneth. Meravilia. Don't forget to roll. Oh, I can't roll R's. Chillie, how is the food? Excellent so far on that ship compared to others. That's the one thing so far. It's been really good is the food. I've got no complaints at all about the food. I don't have many complaints about other things so far. It's just that it's not very accessible. That's the biggest issue. The Margaritaville cruise ship is a former Costa Cruises owned by Carnival Corporation, shipped until 1991. That's correct. And then Bahama Paradise had that and one other ship, and they ended up scrapping the other ship. They used to have 2 of these. And of course, that was before Buffett bought in. How's the price compared to the other cruise lines? It was relatively inexpensive. But the 3-day, 2-night cruises. We go back to Freeport. You'll get back in Freeport tomorrow. Back in West Palm tomorrow morning. The entertainment's been excellent. I did not go. I caught the last, yeah, there it is. It's back again. But anyway, the whole show, unfortunately, because I had other things I was doing. But I saw a little bit of it, and it was great. I've sat in on 1, 2, 3 or 4 of the acts in various bars, and they've all been excellent. Now, I did not stay up late for the late shows. I didn't go to the comedy show last night. I was just done in. I hit the hay because I know I was going to get up early. And stop at a McDonald's someplace to do the show. On my way over to Tampa, I'm staying in Tampa tomorrow night and sailing on the Carnival Paradise on Saturday. And hopefully Lisa will be all dried up and blown away by then, so we don't have to deal with any of that mess down in Honduras and Mexico. So we'll just have to wait and see. All right, guys, that's going to wrap up today's show. As always, I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you putting up with the lousy signal. and I'll see everybody tomorrow. I'm probably not going to try another live stream today since I've had issues with the signal like this, and I can't get any videos to upload. So I got, again, a ton of content that'll, whenever I get back to good signal, I'll start cranking them out again because I've got enough to last me for a couple months. So anyway, that's it for today, guys. As always, stay safe, stay healthy, think about cruising. Hopefully one day soon we'll all get together on the high seas. Everybody have a fantastic day. I'll see you somewhere tomorrow between West Palm and you guys have a terrific day. This is Chillie out.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner, hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chillie's Cruises.